So yeah, just pulling this back up. I actually want to do it more so on a Q, or this is the spot, but I actually want to do it more so on a Qs anyway. Um, and it's only to show something super neat that I find is interesting for the remainder of the earnings season. So just adding another line here. So I'm going to slice right through this mess right here, because again, this complete mess is what is actually creating a lot of confusion. So let's just go here, and then I'm going to find some like a nice sweet spot where actually let's go on. Yeah, let's go here. I like this because we have a lot touching on this line here. And then I want to ride. We got, okay, I think I found it. So we have right there. And again, I'm looking at, if you zoom in, look, we have this touching here. We have the same thing touching here, right? That shadow wick. And we have our top right here. So we have a bunch of touches through here. So this is the guaranteed down draw. So as long as the Qs stay above this 521 level, it can continue to bounce around in here until it either breaks up or breaks down into this right angle here. And once it breaks into this right angle, again, this bottom line would be touched. And you see, as it came down into this right angle, a few times throughout the new year and the end of last year, uh, it literally remained out of this devastation here. It avoided this because this is a bear channel. This is a bear right angle here. Um, and we pull up, not technicals. Let's just pull up a moving average here, and I just want to show you where that 20 is. So look at where that 20 is on a daily, right? It sits right up under it, 520. We can move this to a weekly here and look at that. So another way you know your lines are lined up, because no matter what time frame you go on, it matches up pretty sweet. On a weekly, it's 511. So do you see why I call this that bearish channel here? The pretty much the market is holding on to any leverage it can to avoid the indexes breaking below these lines, and it's pretty much the equivalent when it comes to the S&P. So it's all pretty interesting. Moving into um Meta. Actually, let's shoot to NVDA. NVIDIA, not DeepSeek information. Let's look at just this crazy drawdown here. We had this massively large gap down, DeepSeek damage here. We had that rejection, which was a same thing, which I just showed on the SPY. We had this crazy new tape pop up. So we have this 1-7 candle here, and it obviously it looks very resemblance to the Qs when it came back up, and pretty much Nvidia was trying to do the exact same thing, get back up here to all-time highs. And you see from here, we just know this is a major resistance level here. We have it two touches here, tried to come back around and do that deep seek information, hit it so hard, and it pretty much just look at this, put it right back into these levels, September levels. It's September, October, which also was super devastating for the stock. I actually talk about this via my podcast, Catch Up Quick. Um, you can catch that on Spotify, by the way. Catch Up Quick podcast, UI Musa. So again, you see we're back in the September October range, right? Um, so it's super interesting to, again, we had these large candlesticks. Obviously, it was going to retrade this higher one, but now we have all of these gaps that's left behind. So all of this that's left behind is literally going to be based off of the Q staying above this 520 level and the S&P staying above that 600 level. Of course, earnings is February 26th, February 29th. Um, I think it's either or. And again, as long as companies continue to spend on CapEx, constantly pretty much dumping money into NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is 80% market share. So that money is definitely going to go to them. Um, and that's partially why you see um the stock recover. Besides that, again, it's still sticky at that 130. And again, you see here back in October, it is literally that same thing. So we can actually take this, clone that, pull that down, and literally get that same super resistant trend line going on. So now we just have this uh pretty much boxed off here, just where we have a better look at what's going on. So we know as long as it gets above this 130, it should be smooth selling. But then we still have that same 127 and then that 143, 141, 143 level. I know it's in here somewhere. Here it is right here, that 143 level that has always been a major resistance on a stock. So, so far, the stock has done great, breaking back above or breaking up towards this 130 because it cut through massive resistance levels down here, which was that 119, which it used as support at first, but then it broke down even lower, and then again massive. And you always have to back test these support levels, resistance and support levels. You see it here, September. So again, you have to always try to recall what happened in this time frame that allowed the stock to go up and also allowed it to come down. But you see multiple um, uh, earning dates to where the stock was recycled. It would go up and it would retest these all-time highs, and it would sell off again just in time for the next quarter for it to run up, and then it would sell off again. And we've seen this multiple times here. The first 152 has sold off right after the I think around here was C or no, where was the let's see. It was here. CES. CES was here. This was very important. As you see, this 130 here, it broke down below that. This 130 area was very important. That CES news hit. Well, the CES trade show hit, and literally sent it right back up to that 52-week high right there, just above it like a dollar or so, and then it sold right back off. So again, you see NVIDIA constantly being recycled throughout its entirety, post split, which is seriously crazy to me. And just to explain just a tad bit on that, the amount of money that is being spent CapEx, the amount of money people are predicting Nvidia to make, you have to try to understand it in a very weird way, which is the stock is trading at 130, but again, it was 153. If Nvidia should have been, and a lot of people agree, Nvidia should have been in here. Let's just throw some. I'm going to erase these. Let's see. Let's let's just remove all of these. So NVIDIA should have been, and I'm just gonna pop these up here. Just looking at this here, clone this again, and just to put another one here, just to really channel this in here. Um, so this super upper channel here, it broke down, and again, this is why I say it was recycled. Do you see how many trend lines I'm actually able to find here. This is a lot simpler. But again, it was constantly rejecting this continuance from July, June, July, this continuance. It was constantly trying to break back up into this mega bullish channel here, this top channel here, but it was constantly being rejected. NVIDIA should have been, in all reality, it should have been, because you can see it even last year. It should have already been 172. It actually could have broke up into 190. But even still, could it possibly be still on track for such even higher highs right here, 200 by March in the UC? It's very possible, with a lot of news that could come out, to continue to support this bullish market. The problem is, well, actually, let me get this out first. So if Nvidia actually was already trading at 170 here last year, 180 here, 170 last year, you have to figure, what would it be trading at by the time earnings come February 26th? We already expect Nvidia to pretty much obliterate earnings, right? We in the next 5 years could also feel spending on its AI rev up would, potentially just drive more revenue into Nvidia. So what would the market cap be on Nvidia? And that so far, the, you know it's market cap, right? What would that market cap be? You have to also look at it. It would be insane. I'm just going to break it down. It would be insane. Nvidia would be trading at 12,000 by 2026, 2027, right? The stock would be hefty, 3,000, 4,000, and it's just anyone can throw a number out there. So there's all of these things in a market that is actually bringing the extra volatility to the stock, to stop it from becoming such a massive overly traded uh, uh, stock in the market. And you also have to figure, you have Apple, which makes way more than Nvidia, and has a way more stable business, right? No matter what, any company up against Apple have to prove the longevity. Nvidia has not proven this longevity. Is this just a fad, a trend? Will this AI die out? We don't know. But as far as iPhones and Apple's business model go, we've seen that it only got stronger throughout time, and there's no slowing down of people buying Apple devices or its wearables, and etc. So the Apple ecosystem is very strong. Every time Nvidia had a larger market cap than Apple, Nvidia sold off. Nvidia could never hold that market cap over Apple for too long. And 2025 was the longest that it held, which um I think a week. Before it was just a few seconds. It probably was like about 20 minutes, 30 minutes max. 2025, it was about a week. And it was pretty obvious that this was going to crash, and this is where it crashed at. Apple had sold off way before, um, and then Nvidia followed not too long after, and had this massive drawdown. And this was the correction that it needed, right? Deep Seek hit. It was the correction that was needed in order to get it back below Apple's market cap. And the crazy thing is, it actually took two steps back, because Microsoft ended up taking spot number two.